Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your lead Scentsy consultant. So today I have for you my weekly What I Have Been Wearing video, including the 3 new Scentspirations waxes that are in the Buttercream collection. Now, I need to make a date correction. If you watched my little Scentspirations review, I gave you the wrong date. Monday the 14th of November is when that is releasing. And judging by the fact that even the consultant early access kits have sold out, you may not get any if you go on the date that I had told you before. So please correct that. It is November the 14th. And you can check exactly what time your region by getting on the website. I'm sure that all those things will be available ahead of time for you to be anticipating. But November the 14th, Scentspirations collection will be out. It is a Monday, next Monday, and I'm sure people are going to be lining up in droves to get those bars. So what did I personally think of the collection? Now, number one, it's super, super cute. And the packaging is very nice. If you get the whole set, that's $26 for the little box, a scent circle in the candy cane buttercream, and then you get a vanilla bean buttercream, a candy cane buttercream gingerbread, and caramel. So I loaded up all of my warmers in different rooms with the 3 new ones the very first day that I got them, because of course all of us have been wanting to smell these for months. And I can say that I enjoyed the smells, but I do have an issue with performance. And I know some of you are probably going to be disappointed by me saying that, but especially the candy cane buttercream, I put it in my Florida room, which is not a huge space. I did not smell it very distinctly. The caramel buttercream was pretty good, and the gingerbread buttercream also was just sort of indistinct. So I think that what's going on is the fact that because these are based off of vanilla bean buttercream itself, that is a bar that no matter what you put with it, it sort of mutes any other scent. So a lot of times I will put that with your cedar cider. That is like my favorite thing to mix with vanilla bean buttercream because it takes down the spice note. So when I had all these different buttercreams going, at first, about I'd say maybe the first 45 minutes, all I smelled was the vanilla bean buttercream aspect of each bar. And then as they started to sort of pull out and really come into their own, the gingerbread buttercream and the caramel buttercream mixed together to give me a coffee shop scent. And I will say, as I came and went out of the house that day, I was very pleasantly surprised by just the way that it made the house smell. But my problem with it was indistinct. Whereas other bars, you can walk into the room and you know what it is. These two, the caramel and the gingerbread, just made a very nice, like creamy, sweet, not even really spicy scent, which was comforting. I enjoyed it as an atmospheric scent in my house, but I couldn't tell you which one was in which room. Then I went to the back room and I tried very hard to discern the candy cane buttercream in my Florida room. Really couldn't get it. So what I ended up doing, now we'll go through each of them individually. The candy cane buttercream, all by itself, I got it into my bedroom. 2 cubes in one warmer, 1 cube in another. Then I smelled it and it was very beautiful, but do I want bars, especially in my club, that I'm really only going to be able to smell in a small space? So this candy cane buttercream has all that vanilla bean buttercream on the front end, and it has just this beautiful whisper of peppermint. So it was gorgeous. These are so pretty. That is the best word I can give you for these. That's a positive. They are pretty smells. This smelled amazing in my bedroom, and I'm sure in my basement, where scents tend to perform better because there's not a lot of change in airflow, that this will be quite nice. But my house isn't that big, and I really didn't get that much out in the open. So then I had loaded up my warmers in this room with the gingerbread buttercream. And this is, again, it's very nice. Like, I liked the way that it made the house smell, but I could not tell you that it was gingerbread. I could just tell you that it was really yummy. And it's a great scent in the clam. Again, I'm sure that if I put this in a small space, I'm gonna love the scent, but the performance just wasn't as strong as I assumed they would be, considering that I thought that they would put a lot of like an amped up oil to combat all that mutedness from the vanilla bean buttercream that you know is going to be there. And then oddly enough, I think I have to melt the other set. I think the one that is my favorite is the caramel buttercream. And that really shocked me because I'm not really a caramel person, but this is beautiful. And I think if I was just going to put one in my club as sort of an all-purpose, this, I need to melt it a couple more times, but I like caramel without the salt better than with, I guess. So this was gorgeous. And if it performs well enough and if it becomes a really good mixer, I can see myself throwing one of these in my club at least for a while, because it gave you that creamy caramel. And that one was easier for me to smell, but being that I could not tell which room had what in it, I can't even tell you which one lasted the longest. So I'm sorry if that's kind of a downer. If you love vanilla bean buttercream, absolutely get this set. And it's one of those things where I think people are going to be sad if they don't at least try it. And hopefully in your home it will perform better than it did in mine. But I got indistinct, pretty, sweet bakery in my house from the Scentspirations Vanilla Bean Buttercream Wax Collection. Good, but not like hit it out of the park, need to club all of them, need 20 of each. So let's move on to what else I've been doing this week. Now this week I was doing a lot of direct mixing, which I don't typically do, but I had been thinking about a few I wanted to try, and as it's gotten into November, although really here the weather was warm last week, like in the 70s, I was getting really irritated. I'm like, I just want to melt my cool weather smells, people. Will you please just move on the weather? So the first one, which I was sort of playing around with last week, and this week I got it right. Almond croissant, 2 cubes to 1 cube of Cozy Cranberry. I've only got a couple cubes left now. This made a really yummy bakery mix in my rooms. And unlike the buttercream ones, you knew what this was when it was melting. It was great. So whenever I get the urge, the last 2 cubes, I'll put 1 cube of that and then 2 cubes of almond croissant in a couple of warmers, and I will get a really nice flaky almond pastry with a cranberry filling, kind of a bakery scent. It was great. My next mix, I think I'll stick to alternate warmers for this. I tried Wild for Fall, which is amazing. I really, really like this. I don't like it as much as some of our other LTOs, but it's kind of in like the top half, kind of like top half, top third, somewhere in there. And this is a late fall woods smell. So it's got your fir, it's got your sunflower, and it has some, oh, what's the other things in here? Oranges. And I wanted to see how that did in a warmer directly mixed with scarlet sunflower. Now, I didn't find it to be that much better than the way that it was all by itself, and I think it kind of smushed the scarlet sunflower, even though I did 2 to 1 to start with. But I did like them in alternating warmers very much. So the scarlet sunflower is cranberry and apple and a scarlet colored sunflower turning to face the sun. It's one of those descriptions you don't forget. And it's really, really pretty. And it did complement the Wild for Fall. I had that kind of in the back half of my house. Some was direct mix, some was alternating warmers, so I could tell what I liked better, and that was good. But the one that I had been wanting to try for quite a while and waited till November was a direct mix of Sips of Cider and Very Merry Cranberry. This worked really well. So Sips of Cider is one of those that's kind of divisive. Half of us love it, half of us hate it. I love it. But it is sharp. There is this real bite to this particular bar. So Very Merry Cranberry is sweeter. So the cranberry one has cedar, and it's got lots of just sweet tart but happy juicy cranberry. So when you put it with the Sips of Cider, which has cranberry juice, apple juice, blood orange, ginger, cardamom, spices that are not just cinnamon, these two together made a sweet tart cider where that extra cranberry just lifted it a little bit, and I thought it was excellent. So the next thing that I was direct mixing, I'm about done with my direct mixes, I promise, and this was probably my, like, really happy that it worked as well as I wanted it to mix of the week. Here I have the Brick of Winter's Eve, which I like, and out of all 5, I did rank it second now that I've used all of them over and over again. But it wasn't like a home run. because what I did want out of this that was kind of missing was more evergreen scent. So what I mixed it with, because this is like a cologne that's got some smoky undertones and some evergreeny undertones, but not enough evergreen for me. I mixed it directly with iced pine, which is just a really hardcore pine scent with a kiss of peppermint. Oh, you guys, I loved this. It gave me exactly what I wanted Winter's Eve to be. So I'm going to be, I got more ice pine coming. I'm going to be direct mixing these so happily. It's also good mixed with around the campfire and alternating warmers or together, but that was amazing for me. Now, you're going to see something that's not Scentsy. Can you believe it? Yankee Candles Golden Chestnut. I put several cubes of this in the house one day this week, and it was so nice. So think caramel chestnut plus some toasted acorn and oat plus some spices. It's really, really good, and it's one that I have just a couple of clams of, and I save it for November, and it was really good. And then, of course, look, guys, I got through this many brick cubes. It's gone. Like, I have one sad chunk that's waiting to be plopped in a warmer, but I also started on another brick of it. So technically I have gone through an entire brick of caramel chestnut. That is amazing. It was so good. So unlike the one that I just talked about, this one has no spice. It's just a nice, rich, roasty, toasty chestnut with some caramel. I want to direct mix that with the caramel buttercream. I kind of tried it at the end of one of their lives in a warmer this week and plopped some of the other one on. I think I need to do them fresh at the same time and see how it is, but I think that will be a gorgeous mix. All right, now this is just some odds and ends that I was warming in different places, not even necessarily for a whole day, because I'm kind of trying to use up clamshells that are fall, where I've got like 1 or 2 cubes left. So I used some Cozy Vanilla and Pumpkin, I think, in the kitchen. This is so nice. And it's just gentle vanilla and pumpkin with some really subtle spices, and it gives you like a cozy blanket feeling, and it's just so good. That's in our Harvest Trio. Another one where I've gone through a couple bars is Pumpkin Roll. Now, sometimes this one, and it's doing it to me today, sometimes the bars of this are amazing and get all the notes, and sometimes the bars of this are like, where's the smell? And unfortunately today it's kind of a where's the smell. So if it's an on kind of a pumpkin roll bar, you get pecans, you get pumpkin cake, you get like cream cheese filling. It's amazing. Today I'm sort of getting a little bit of pumpkin, and like the rest of the smell is on vacation, so I'm a little sad about that. Last couple cubes of cider mill just to use it up. This is always a home run. You've heard me talk about it all season long. And it's apple and pumpkin and simmering spices, and it's all things fall, and it's beautiful. I also just had a craving for pumpkin and cream cheese, so I'm out now, which is so sad. I'm out of pumpkin cinnamon swirl. I got 2 more bars coming. And this just hit the spot the day that I was warming it. So it's pumpkin with lots of cream cheese and a little bit of cinnamon. Oh, it's delicious. And it was just comforting and gooey and amazing. I think I had this in with caramel buttercream when I was trying to use up alternating warmers, trying to use up the rest of that bar, and that was very, very nice. But the scent that was more distinct in the room was the pumpkin cinnamon swirl. And the other one was just sort of a supporting actor. Okay, and then another bar where I was really sad that I was almost out was pumpkin chai, which again, I think I did the rest of the gingerbread buttercream, like the second half of the clam, with pumpkin chai. It was very nice, but all I could really smell distinctly was the pumpkin chai. And then there was just a nice sort of, not even spicy, but just a yummy, creamy bakery smell from the gingerbread buttercream. Oh, this pumpkin chai is so good. This is sweet. It's got spices. It's got creaminess. It lasts a long time. It's wonderful. One of my favorite fall bars. It was very hard on Monday to choose just a couple absolute favorites. So I really could have chosen pumpkin chai and autumn road trip, which is the one that I chose out of the catalog as like a catalog staple. And what was the third one? Oh, cider mill. All 3 of those are so, so good, and they're all kind of catalog staple classics. Amazing. All right, and then I had 2 cubes of gingerbread hugs that was in an old clam, and I did melt this to compare it to the gingerbread buttercream. Now this smells like ginger, and it's really good. It's a little strong. And if I had a lot more of this, which I don't, I think I only have 1, maybe 1.5 bars left, I would mix this with gingerbread buttercream and probably get what I actually wanted from gingerbread buttercream. Because this is great. This has that like gingerbread, the cookie that snaps kind of a scent. So good. All right, then I was trying out all things caramel and toffee this week to get ready to rate the caramel buttercream. So I used some toffee butter crunch in my bedroom. This is definitely the sweetest and most intense of all the coffee or all the toffee caramel smells that I own. And it's really good, but a little bit goes a long way. So this one is extra sweet, which makes it easy to use and have impact. I found that I like the salted caramel toffee a bit better than I remember. It's a little more mellow. I'm going to be mixing this with caramel chestnut, so I'm going to have a day. I don't really do, you know, Robin is the wax war lady, but I'm going to do a day where I'm going to take caramel chestnut and I'm going to do the caramel buttercream with it. I'm going to do some salted caramel toffee with it, and in another room, I'm going to do some of the toffee butter crunch and see which of those brings out the caramel the best in the caramel chestnut. So I don't know when I'll get to that, but I'm going to try to remember to do that. And if I forget and it's been a couple weeks, leave it in the comments like, hey, did you do that chestnut buttercream mixing thing yet? But this salted caramel toffee is just a really good team player, and it was like middle of the road. So the caramel buttercream is the most mellow, this one's in the middle, and then the toffee butter crunch has the most like sweetness and punch. And then another day, which I think was yesterday, I just wanted, I wanted cranberries and I wanted maple syrup. So maple vanilla glaze is going in the front room. Doesn't last a heck of a long time, but oh, it's so good when it's on. Oh man, I don't know, this bar just makes me so happy. So this has maple, it's got gooey vanilla glazy goodness, and it just saturates your room, and it's a scent bomb. But then it dies after a few hours, but I don't really care, it was so good. And on the same day, I wanted to compare it to vanilla cinnamon maple, which performs very well in my basement. I put 4 cubes in my back room. This one, I think I know now as I've been moving it upstairs why I only like it in my basement. Love the scent, but it disappears upstairs on me, whereas downstairs it lasts for days. And that's why I'm thinking when I open this video that I need to melt my buttercreams downstairs because it traps the scent better and I can appreciate it much more. This is beautiful, but I could barely smell it in my back room. And it's not as sweet or in your face as the maple vanilla glaze. So the vanilla cinnamon maple is just, it's mellow. It's so good. It would be good in a bedroom or if I had the doors closed in the Florida room. And then last but not least, in all the things out in the open, because I've got a pile for basement and bedrooms, I broke out, I've only got 4 cubes left, a couple cubes of my candied cranberry pecan. This is a good bar. I would like to see this back in, bring back my bar. I did have the opportunity to get 1 bar of it in a bundle, but it wasn't a bundle I really wanted. I kind of wish I had done it anyway because this is so nice. It's got a ribbon of brandied plum running through the pecans and the candied cranberries, and it is just beautiful, and it lasted. This is a good performer. I only had 2 cubes, and I smelled that better than the other stuff all day. All right, so then we had a lot of 1 cube of this and 1 cube of that going in either my bedroom or my kids' bedrooms. And I have a couple of distinct things that I had going in the basement. And I know I also was doing, and don't have the bar, I was also doing my sweet orange pomander in the basement. Oh, it was so good. And I had that in alternate warmers with Blue Christmas because I wanted to evaluate this before I finished my best of the season on Monday. Blue Christmas is growing on me because it isn't quite as aggressive as it used to be. Now, I have not melted Cozy Fireside yet, but the buzz that I've heard is that it's not quite as strong as it used to be, which kind of makes me sad. But on the flip side, Blue Christmas did not blow me out of the water this year. It was just nice. It's still strong, but not too strong. So this is a very nostalgic, orange peel, blue spruce, little bit of spice. Kind of reminded me of Sips of Cider. So if you love Sips of Cider and you've never tried Blue Christmas, there are some similarities there. This has more tree. And it was really good, and I loved it with the sweet orange pomander because that amped up the orange and the spice that's already in this bar. They were in alternating warmers. The basement just smelled so good, and I guess I'm kind of getting ahead of myself on Christmas melting, but I wanted to make sure this had gotten evaluated before my best of the season video. And I liked it better than I used to. So then another one that's been going in the basement and upstairs is the cranberry garland, which is retired, but it's just so nice. And this is the smell of Thanksgiving for me. It's definitely got sage, pine cones, and cranberries, and I was trying to read a text my husband was sending in. It goes sideways on my phone when I'm filming because our poor boy, our Truthy, he's a little bit lame. He did something, actually I think his sister Kenya did something to him. They were playing and he got freaked out and tweaked something in his shoulder and he needs some medicine, so it looks like they approved it. Anyway, next on, life with dogs, life with children, life with furry children, whatever. Autumn Hearth is next. And this is such a good smell. I've got another bar of this coming from my party closeout order. Oh. And this one, even though it's a fall scent, I really like it in the wintertime too, because it's like smoky hearth with apples. It's so nice. So my daughter actually just had 1 cube of this in her room this week, but it smelled out into the hallway. It was so good. All right, another one that she finished up with some Orchard Apple and Spice. This is a great fall bar. I'm actually kind of craving doing one more melt of this, probably this week. Oh, so it's like cherry and apple and woodiness, and it's just a beautiful smell, great for the fall. Before I did my best of the season, I melted a couple cubes. This is a hard one to have show up. A couple cubes of frosted vanilla just to make sure that I loved it as much as I did in August, and I do. This is so good, you guys. Oh. This is going to be so, so nice. I've got a little bit of Whiteout left, which is an old retired bar that came back for BBMB. I don't have it in my club anymore. I am looking forward to melting this in alternate warmers with Whiteout. So this one's a little woodsier with birch and mint and vanilla. It's amazing. My daughter got through the last couple cubes of Ghostly Greetings in her room. This is kind of a dark brandy plum. I feel like there's patchouli in here. Incensey, Halloweeny sort of a scent, but it's fine to push it into November, and she was enjoying that in her room. And then last but not least, I think in the basement and in her room, we were doing Snow-Kissed Cranberry, which is just like a light body care perfume cranberry. It's so good. So to reiterate, the 14th of November, you can go and get your Scentspirations wax collection. And I hope that with some time of the bars sitting and or other people's experiences that I hear better things about the performance of the Scentspirations. Now, I have no complaints with the smells themselves. They are beautiful. I just would have liked a little bit more zip in my Miracle Whip, if you know what I mean. And I also have at least printed status. I'm going to go check them again on... If you haven't watched some of my other videos, my husband talked me into getting the All Through the Night warmer. Last week I said I wasn't going to do it. And he's the one who's like, I think you should get that. So it's coming. So I'm sorry that it's all sold out. It sold out in like less than 2 days, a day and a half as far as I know. It might have been earlier and I just didn't check the website. I think it was available for at least 24 hours. Let me know if you know when it sold out exactly. And I have a party closeout haul that's coming with just some odds and ends and one nice warmer that I haven't shown you guys yet for the holiday collection. So that is everything with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Let me know if you snagged the All Through the Night warmer yourself or why you passed on it. So enjoy. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for spending some time with me and have a blessed day.